Okay, let's get rolling. Good morning, everyone. Happy Sunday. Welcome. I'm just managing the Zoom room here too. All right. So this is our second class on heartfulness, and I'm really excited about this class. This is a great meditation. Let's begin by getting into the mindful body. That's our posture that's strong and straight. And just reminding ourselves of there's more inside than there is outside, like some of the images that we call to mind in preparing the mindful body, the tree, the mountain. Cycling freely through our many anchors now, listening for sounds within, sounds without. All the while breathing, reminding ourselves that these anchors allow us to connect to the present moment and give us respite from chronic multitasking. And exploring thoughts that arise, welcoming the thoughts, allowing them to pass, but, observing, breathing. We can give our thoughts a label, past, present, future, or a label of activity, worrying, spacing out, planning. It's in this left-brained act of observing and labeling that we give the thoughts permission to move on. And reminding ourselves about why. It's so that we can be available to ourselves. We can be observant about ourselves. Imagining the care that we relish on a child, an infant or older, or a pet, or any loved one, how much of our effort is spent anticipating, observing, knowing, optimizing. And what's it like to give that to ourselves? It's a foreign activity for many busy working parents. if the idea and practice of giving yourself this loving attention seems very difficult, it's very easy to get distracted during this activity, then that is a signal of a lack of balance, and that is definitely worth further exploration. Last week we talked about giving and receiving heartfulness. I actually think we did the giving component last week, so today we will continue my current tangent of exploring the receiving aspect of heartfulness. Let's call to mind a loved one. And you can repeat after me out loud or silently. I wish you healthiness, happiness, joy, peace, respect and ease, imagine the gift of your heartfulness being received by your loved one with a great big smile and an open heart. Notice how wonderful it feels when all of the petty obstacles we place in our relationships fall away under the onslaught of our loving kindness. It's a very powerful gift. It's free, easy, and endless. Now imagine your loved one holding you in loving kindness. Your loved one says, I wish you happiness and health, success and ease. Notice how wonderful it feels to get this gift from someone else and possibly explore our own feelings of unworthiness. We resist receiving loving kindness from others because of our own internal trauma, baggage, habits. Let's sit with this anchor for a moment, the receiving of heartfulness. Maybe you're a person who doesn't like compliments or fuss, and you feel uncomfortable or embarrassed receiving loving kindness from others. So let's take a moment to poke around the why here. Notice any thoughts and emotions that arise and interfere with our ability to receive loving kindness. Let's say to ourselves, I give myself permission to know peace and health and ease. I give myself permission to know freedom from striving and fighting. I give myself permission to be the highest and best that I can be. Without the type of ambition that steps on others or that takes from others. Now let's ask ourselves a question. If we're struggling to receive loving kindness in a deep and meaningful way, what's in the way? What prevents me from feeling worthy to receive the loving kindness of myself and community? Note the first few things that pop into your head. They are worth further exploration, either in thinking through, journaling, reflecting while you're driving, or laying an intention before you go to bed to have clarity on these topics. I will be happy if only I was richer, thinner, more successful. If only I had this person, this car, this job, this house. What's in the way? All the while noticing breath and sound, the body rooting us back in the body, in the present moment, the rise and fall of the torso, relaxing the hands and face, relaxing the belly and shoulders. Let's sit with this intention silently for a few moments, observing what comes up. Imagine your loved one, maybe a child or a partner or a friend, here or passed on. And notice how endearing their little flaws and faults can be. Or even if they are significantly destructive, it doesn't stop us from loving them. So if our loved ones don't have to be perfect to be worthy of our love, neither do we. Now, it's one thing to say this and know it in the head, but to really feel it in the heart and the body, it can be, it can require significant undoing of negative thought patterns that have been there for a long time. Our painful story that might have started with something simple when we were little, but got repeated and repeated and amplified. And is that normal? Yeah, that's part of the human journey. And so that's part of our flawed nature that we accept compassionately. We learn to observe that in meditation practice and to sit with it. Doesn't it seem ridiculous, insane, that we could deny ourselves love and compassion when we would never do such a thing to another? And how we punish ourselves, we would never put up with it from somebody else. So let's take several deep breaths into this sense of freedom. The relief and agency we experience in knowing the truth, and that is, we get to control what we believe and think. And we don't have to choose a painful story. And that such a choice is not naive or idealistic. It represents the truth for how love and forgiveness flow in our relationships. Noticing any positive emotions that arise from reminding ourselves of agency and worthiness, or any resistance to this, because all of that is worthy of exploration. The gratitude and joy we keep, it fills up our buckets, and we draw upon that when we need it. We offer it to others, and we can give it to ourselves. And the resistance is something we can explore further, either in practice or in active practice, like a journaling activity, reflections, thinking. Let's close today's practice with several deep breaths. Celebrating this perfect, imperfect body that can be such a powerful vehicle for giving and receiving love and forgiveness. including to ourselves when we make mistakes. Noticing the strength of the body and the breath. The intimacy of our environment as we listen to the sound of breath and other sounds in our practice space. And returning our focus to center. Thank you everyone for joining me today, and I wish you a wonderful Sunday. Bye-bye.